Good afternoon, y'all. So it turned out to be a beautiful day today, and I decided I wanted to do a video that I've been needing to do for a long time now. So we're gonna go ahead and get right into it. Oh, before we get started, it would really help a lot, guys, if you could give us a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't. Thanks a lot. Alright, y'all, so after about 6 months of owning my PSE EVL 34, I decided I want to do a little review on it. Now this review is going to be a little different. It's not going to be so much talking about specs, but talking about the real life, my likes and dislikes, pros and cons about the bow that I have found over time of owning it. I'm going to try to run through this fairly quickly for y'all. Let's get right to it. Starting off with the pros, I'm going to start with the pros. Wide limb base. They incorporated this wide limb base in 2021, I do believe, when this bow came out, and that's what absolutely sold me on this bow. It held so well, better than any of the other bows I held. Let me give you a little closer look. But right there, super wide, really helps with the stability. My left and right shakes were little to none on this bow. I can hold this bow at 50, 60 yards easily on a paper plate. It just holds so well. That's, like I said, that's what sold me on this bow. Second is gonna be the rotating mods. Now, I know most bows today have this feature, but some do not. It's nice to have the ability to rotate this mod. I think mine is from 26 to 31.5 inch draw lengths, and that's without a press as well, like most of them. So that's very nice to have, just in case maybe you're ½ inch on your draw, ½ inch off, you can lower it or raise it. Next, we're gonna go with the midline divot. Now, there's a divot that runs down the grip on the front side of the bow, and on the back side, the top and bottom of the riser. Now, why I like that, on the front side of the riser, when I grip the bow, I personally put 2 fingers on the bow. Well, this allows my fingers to sink directly in the middle of that riser and have a very consistent grip every single time. I can repeat it every single time, and it feels really, really good. Shooting my 3D bow now, not having that, I notice how much I like having it. On the back side, it allows you to line up the string with the top and bottom of the riser. So that helps for when you're setting center shot, your rest, you can line that up in the middle of your grip and set your rest and just kind of judge it by eye and line up your center shot. That's what I did, it helped a lot. Next is gonna be the cam system, the Evolve cam. It's been out for a few years now. Really awesome cam, like it a lot. Super smooth cam, awesome draw cycle, not too heavy in the front, kind of rolls in that back wall, doesn't really dump. So really awesome cam. Lower stab. Now, the ability to have a lower stab right down here. Personally, I haven't used it much. I like using this 10-degree downward angled quick release by Bee Stinger, but this gives you the option if you want to run that, or if you're shooting it for competition and you have a stabilizer limit, like for hunter class, this will give you an extra inch off the riser from that upper bushing and just give you an inch more on your stab, which feels really good. It does feel good. Personally, I just like running it on that upper one. Next is going to be the quietness of this bow. I really have noticed that it is pretty quiet compared to my other bows I've shot. It's a very quiet bow for not having any type of really dampening in the limb system. It's super quiet. I haven't had any problems with scaring off any animals on the shot, anything like that. Next is going to be the Yoke System. I'm super glad they kept yokes on this bow. Some of the bows in today's market have none. They don't have any yokes, they don't have any type of tuning system, and it sucks to tune. So this helped really micro tune and fine tune my bow without having to move the rest. I was able to keep a center shot, manipulate these yokes a little bit, and get it perfectly tuned up. Now, my last pro with that is on this yoke system, they have these little holes right here on the top and on the bottom. Now, as you'll see, I have my limb-driven rest tied through this hole on the yoke system. So, what this does is it keeps that cord closer and sucked into your bow rather than coming straight out over here. I like that because when I had to run it outside on the limb, it would snag every now and then on brush if you're spot and stalking. And I actually had it like this in Colorado and never caught this or anything. It also gives you a peace of mind, you know, if you're nervous about cutting it. This really keeps it inside your bow, and I had no problems whatsoever spot and stalking with it. I like that a lot. Some people say they've had problems running it like this. I have never ran into any. 6 months of use, shooting broadheads, shooting everything. Now I will say, you should tie some piece of D-loop, tie a knot on this other side, or like a brass button, so that it keeps it from, when you go into full draw, this sliding down through the hole, and it's just not very consistent. I haven't done that yet, but I'm definitely going to. Now into the cons, my least favorite part here. So this bow does have hand shock. You know, some say it doesn't. It definitely does have hand shock. Now, I do not have any type of dampeners on my stabs and my sight, anything like that. I don't have a lot of dampening on this bow other than what it came with, these four little pieces in the riser. And like I said, they don't have any in between their limbs, which most companies do. Now, it does not affect me very much. It's maybe a half second after the shot you feel it, which I know some people freak out about that. Personally, I don't mind it, but I'm not gonna say it's not there. So just keep that in mind. Go shoot it, get a feel for it, see, you know, if you like it. Obviously, with nothing on the bow, it's gonna be a little worse. But if you put some dampeners on your stabs, in between the limbs, I'm sure it'd be fine, but I'm reviewing it based off what it comes with. Next con is gonna be the mod screws. Now, this scared me. These screws that hold the mod on, let me just say, I was shooting, when I first started shooting the bow, probably a couple hundred shots, I heard a crack noise on release. It scared the heck out of me. So, stopped shooting, broke the bow down, checked all the limbs. Limbs are fine. Didn't know if, you know, it cracked a limb. Looked at all my accessories and whatnot. Everything was tightened down, tightened all the screws down. Well, come to find out, I looked on a forum on Archery Talk. Well, these mod screws become loose over time, and it gives it a nasty, like, cracking sound. So if you hear that, your mod screws are just loose, but I don't like that a lot. So after about the third or fourth time that happened, it does happen often, I took some thread lock. Now, listen to this carefully, because you can't get the wrong stuff. This one is the blue, which is not permanent. Okay, do not get, I think it's the red is the permanent one. Don't do that. You want to be able to remove them. This is, you can remove it with hand tools, but it's very solid. So I did that a couple weeks ago. I took that thread lock there and put it in all my mod screws once I figured out exactly where I wanted everything to be. And now I haven't had a problem yet. I've thrown a couple hundred shots through the bow. I think that's really gonna fix up that problem. So that's a little tip if you have that problem. Lastly, paint chipping. I have noticed there's some marks on my bow where the paint is chipping, and it is apparently common with these PSEs. It doesn't bother me much. This bow is, I'm taking it through the woods, crawling with it on the ground. I mean, it's a bow. It's just like a truck, you know. I'm not gonna freak out if you get a little dent or whatnot, but some people don't like that at all. Now, I did drop this bow out of a tree from 22 foot when I first got it. That did give me some paint chipping down here by the stab. But other than that, everything else has just been from normal use. Now, let me show you. Right here on the riser, if you can see that there, I've got some chipping right here where my arrow slides when it's not up on the shelf, and then on the grip. It's just very little spots. You can fix that up if you wanted to. It, like I said, it doesn't bother me much at all. It's a bow, you know. I'm going through the woods with it, scratching it up, adds character. That is gonna conclude my cons. So overall, this bow is a great shooting bow. Love the ATA 34, that's my favorite. I love the wide limbs, holds very well, and it just shoots very well for me. This is my favorite bow to date. It's shot the best for me, it holds the best for me. It's just overall very well balanced and a very good bow. So if you're thinking about getting this bow, now this is last year's model now. The newer ones are supposed to be pretty sweet too. You got 33 inch and 30-inch ATAs, I believe, on the newer ones. And this is a 34, like I said. So go take a look, shoot the new ones, shoot this one if you want, and see how you like it. But I switched to PSE this year just because I'm not biased to any type of boat company. I've shot Elite, Expedition, PSE in the past, Hoyt. Haven't shot Matthews because they suck. No, they're good bows. Actually, Trevor just got a Matthews, so super excited to be able to give him crap about that. They make really good bows as well. But this one just shot the best. I went and shot all the big companies, all the small companies, and this one felt the best in my hand. Definitely give the PSE EVL a try if you're looking for a bow, and thank y'all for watching.